mwaka huu.
Na mtazamaji, na sasa turejelee taarifa yetu kwa ambapo tume ya uchaguzi na mipaka nchini IEBC inakutana na wagombea wa kiti cha urais katika uchaguzi mkuu ujao, ikiwa ni kwenye mikakati ya maandalizi ya uchaguzi mkuu. Wagombea hawa wanatarajiwa kuwasilisha sahihi kwa tume ya IEBC. Sasa tusikilize taarifa ambayo mwenyekiti wa tume hiyo Wafula Chebukati alitoa muda mfupi tu uliopita.
And their deputies on or before 16th of May this year. And by that date, the Commission had received a total of 58 presidential aspirants, out of which 17 are political party aspirants, 1 a coalition political party aspirant, and 40 independent candidate aspirants. However, 11 presidential aspirants did not submit names of their deputies by that date. So the schedule of those aspirants may be shared with you at some point. So candidates will be required to deliver their nomination papers to the chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission between the hours of 8 o'clock in the morning and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and between the hours of 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, between Sunday, 29th May 2022, the coming Sunday, up to Monday, 6th of June 2022, at a place designated by the Commission. Understand it will be here at Bomas. Is that correct? Yeah, so we shall be on these grounds between the Sunday 29th of May 2022 to Monday 6th of June 2022. We shall be here to receive your registration documents, and clearance will be done from here. I'm sure you are familiar with the qualifications and disqualifications of presidential candidature, but just for purposes of sharing, because these are legal requirements, which I know you have read and prepared for, but I just want to refresh your memory, or rather your reading, by saying the legal framework specifies when, how, and which registration procedures must be undertaken, including the requirements for registration. Article 137 of the Constitution, qualifications and disqualifications for election as a president. A person qualifies for nomination as a presidential candidate if the person is a citizen by birth, B, is qualified to stand for election as a member of parliament, C, is nominated by a political party, or is an independent candidate, and D, is nominated by not fewer than 2,000 voters from each of a majority of the counties. So we have 47 counties, so you must have 2,000 voters from at least 24 counties. Article 99 is also important, qualifications and disqualifications for election as a member of parliament. Remember, qualifications for member of parliament apply to presidential aspirants. Unless disqualified under clause 2, a person is eligible for election as a member of parliament if that person is a registered voter, satisfies any educational, moral, and ethical requirements prescribed by this constitution or by an act of parliament, and is nominated by a political party or is an independent candidate who is supported. Now, here you need to look at Regulation 18 of the Election General Regulations 2012, which talks of supporters of presidential candidate and statutory declaration. The person delivering an application, this is Regulation 18.1, delivering an application for nomination under Regulation 16 or 17 shall at least 5 days to the day fixed for nomination delivered to the Commission a list bearing the names, respective signatures, identity card or passport numbers of at least 2,000 voters registered in each of a majority of the counties in standard A4 sheets of paper and in an electronic form. So 5 days to registration or nominations. We said nomination starts as gazetted on 29th of this month, 29th May. 5 days is today, so ensure that by end of today, you have submitted the signatures of your supporters in accordance with Regulation 18 of the Election General Regulations requirements. And those requirements are clearly spelled out in that section, including the format of how you submit those signatures, both hard copy and electronic format. So the sheets of paper delivered under this regulation, A, shall be serially numbered, B, each have at the top in typescript the wording at the top Form 12, and C, be accompanied by copies of identification document of the voters referred to in sub-regulation 1. There shall be delivered to the returning officer, together with the application for nomination, a statutory declaration Form 13, set out in the schedule, made not earlier than 1 month before the nomination day. Then we also have Regulation 38B and 39C of the Election General Regulations 2012, which talk of a proposer and a seconder. A proposer and a seconder for a political party, presidential candidates shall be voters registered in the respective electoral areas and shall be members of the political party. A proposer and seconder for the independent presidential candidate shall be voters registered in the respective electoral areas, but who shall not be members of any political party. And also remind you of Section 32 of the Elections Act, approval of symbol for independent candidate. An independent candidate shall submit the symbol the candidate intends to use during an election to the Commission at least 21 days before nomination day, and the Commission shall approve or reject the symbol and gazette it. This has already been done. So to ensure fairness, the grounds for verification of all requirements and rejection of a registration application have to be based on the objective criteria. And this starts with the process we are undertaking from today of verifying the signatures you have submitted or you are going to submit in the course of the day. So the signatures, I think the forms are self-explanatory, and what's important is that they must be accompanied by photocopies of IDs as proof of authentication of those signatures. There has also to be, of course, meet the requirements of the geographical presence of the 34 counties. I would also like to say one more thing here, that we as a commission, the law allows you, if there's one voter or a number of voters proposing each one of you in separate forms, that's okay. But you're not, of course, allowed to share signatures. But a voter can propose more than one candidate. But at the end of the day, the voter has to sign for each of those candidates. So that then having more than one person proposing any of you is quite in order, is not a ground for rejection of that signature. Ours is to ensure our process meets the fairness and reasonable test as provided under Article 24 of the Constitution, so as not to unlawfully and unjustifiably restrict or limit the rights of candidates to exercise political rights. However, if we find that your signatures and another candidate are a mirror of each other, we shall reject those signatures. and give you an opportunity to look for other supporters. The team will give you an outline of how to validate how we shall go on with the validation exercise. While doing validation, the following are important: that we identify what an invalid signature is. But if there's one or a few invalid signatures, they don't invalidate the other signatures. The other ones remain legitimate. Only the invalidated ones are removed.
Naam, ama kweli mtazamaji ulivyoona hapo, huyo ni Wafula Chebukati, mwenyekiti wa tume ya uchaguzi na mipaka nchini IEBC. Ishara tosha kwamba uchaguzi mkuu wa mwezi Agosti umebisha hodi, akikutana na baadhi ya wale ambao ni waniaji wa kiti cha urais. Anasema kwamba tayari amekutana na wagombea 58 ambapo 17 wako katika vyama mbalimbali vya kisiasa. Kuna mgombea mmoja ambaye anatoka kutoka muungano wa vyama tanzu, na vile vile 40 mtazamaji ni wagombea ambao watakuwa nasimama kama wagombea huru, akikariri baadhi ya vigezo vinavyohitajika kufanikisha shughuli nzima, huku akitoa kile kipindi rasmi cha siasa kuanza, ambapo ni kati ya tarehe 29 mwezi huu wa Mei hadi tarehe 6 mwezi Agosti. Mtazamaji, siku 3 ambazo zitakuwa zinasalia basi uchaguzi mkuu kufanyika hapo Agosti tarehe 9. Ni taarifa ambayo utakuwa unaipata kwa kina kwenye taarifa zetu zijazo